Deku falls out of the sky to a green plain with dinosaurs and immediately realizes that he isn't in his own world. Opening a warp gate portal, Shigaraki throws a random device far from Deku, and with his last words he says, "That device, you better find it. It might give you a hint as to how you can make it home and protect your family." The warp gate portal closes and Deku is now stranded in another anime universe. So, can Deku survive Dragon Ball Super? He starts screaming and immediately begins to worry about his mother, his friends from UA High School, and the civilians of his home planet. As Izuku is stressing over the matter, a dinosaur is seen running towards him, and just as he's about to be devoured, an explosion came from behind him. Just then, Bakugo comes flying in, kicking the dinosaur into a mountain, and while in shock, Izuku feels someone touching his shoulders. He looks up to find that the #1 hero Endeavor is behind him, and Endeavor asks, "Is Izuku alright?" Shoto walks behind Endeavor and tells Izuku that he shouldn't worry right now, and that their #1 focus is to figure out what is going on. Deku says he's right, and they begin to look for other heroes in the area. Endeavor concluded that they must be the only ones sent to this universe, but Shoto expressed that they should still be open to the possibility that there may be other heroes and students scattered to other areas in this world. Izuku is more confused, wondering the reason why Shigaraki sent him there in the first place. And before he can express his concern, Shoto reminds everyone that Shigaraki did throw a device claiming that it'll be needed to complete their mission to return home, and advises that they focus on that. The heroes then take a beeline to the direction where they saw Shigaraki throw the device, but after looking as a group for a few hours, they couldn't find anything. Endeavor decided to split everyone up and instructed each person to an area of sector that they must search. After about a few more hours of searching, as the day gets closer to night, Shoto stumbles over a rock but notices something odd. He tells Endeavor and Izuku, who were close in the area, and they immediately rush over to him. When Deku finally gets to where Shoto and Endeavor are, he was surprised to find out that the rock that Shoto initially called him over for was actually an orange orb with 4 stars on it. Shoto mentioned that originally he thought it was a rock, but he immediately realized it was an orb that was covered in mud when he picked it up. And the reason he contacted Endeavor and Izuku was because when he picked up the orb, it began to glow. Shoto thought the orb could be the device that Shigaraki threw, and there could be some ritual that needs to be done in order to unlock the device, which Shigaraki did say would help them get back home. Endeavor says that could be the case, but Izuku is still wondering what would be the purpose of giving the heroes a device that will allow them a way out.
Izuku Midoriya, you may be wondering how or why I sent you to this random universe. Well, you failed to see the true darkness within the world of heroes. So to show you why this world needs to be burnt down, I want to play a little game. With you is a hero picked based on their popularity and impact on the lives of society at large, and a few up-and-coming heroes that you might be acquainted with. And with them, you will be locked in this random universe, and your job is to simply defeat the 3 strongest beings on this earth. Do you get it? Once you do that, a warp gate will automatically open for you and your comrades to come back home. Now, worry not, your family and the entire world are safe. You see, due to me combining the powers of Warp Gate and a copy of New Order, while also boosting its powers with a quirk-enhancing drug, I unintentionally created a new quirk, one that I think should be called New Game, allowing me to teleport anyone to any dimension and put specific conditions over the people and the world at large. However, there's a drawback. I can only give 3 rules that can only affect the people whom I'm sending to this universe. And whilst the game is being played, I will be stuck in a void between the 2 universes until game over. So as of now, your family is safe. However, there's a few rules that you must know. Rule number 1, you cannot tell anyone in this universe about this game. Rule number 2, you cannot use any power in this universe to return home or affect your own universe. And rule number 3, you have 7 days from your initial arrival to defeat the strongest being in this world. So you see, if you break any rule or do not complete the game in a lot of time, you will have game over and will be trapped in this universe forever. So I hope you do your best, Izuku Midoriya, for in 7 days I will be free from this void and destroy this wicked hero society.
No one can say a word knowing that the state of their and their loved one's life will be based on if they can defeat the strongest in a universe that they know nothing about. Bakugo has a feeling that something is off, and right before Deku can respond, the heroes hear a scream from the sky. "Hey!" Hey! Stunned, Izuku and the heroes look up to see two boys flying towards them screaming, Hey! You down there! The boys land where the heroes are and without any words pulls out a dragon radar only to acknowledge to themselves that the heroes indeed do have a Dragon Ball in their possession. Izuku looks at the boys in confusion. The two kids will introduce themselves as Trunks and Goten and were wondering which person out of the group had the 4-star Dragon Ball. Bakugo immediately says, what the freak is a Dragon Ball? To which Goten pulls one out and tells them that Dragon Balls are magical orbs that when brought together allows you to make any wish you want. But while he's talking, Bakugo randomly attacks Goten only to be dodged easily. Izuku screams at Bakugo about why he is trying to hurt little kids. Bakugo then tells Izuku that these aren't just any little kids and that he senses something very powerful about them. He then goes on to yell to the boys, Hey! Who is the strongest of you two? Goten and Trunks look at each other and Trunks claims it to be him, but only because he's older. Goten disagrees and Trunks teases him for being younger than him. And while they aren't paying attention again, Bakugo, using Explosion, beams straight towards Trunks for an attack. Trunks immediately sees Bakugo and holds out his hand to block. But just as Bakugo gets close to Trunks, he uses his stun grenade to blind Goten and Trunks and redirects himself with his Explosion quirk to Trunks' rear, finishing his combo attack with his super move, Howitzer Impact. Smoke began in the air, and Bakugo landed next to the heroes, panting in exhaustion. Izuku punches Bakugo in the face and screams at him for hurting some innocent kids even if it means that they can go home. But Shoto tells Izuku to look at the smoke. In the smoke, Trunks is mocking Goten for being blinded by Bakugo's stun grenade, telling him that this confirms he is the strongest of the two. Izuku and the heroes are in shock at the fact that Bakugo's attack did no damage at all to these little kids. And Bakugo, who is more furious than them all, tells everyone, I knew it. If these kids are able to take on my best move, there's no doubt that the adults in this world are on a whole other level. Endeavor looks at the two boys and asks them, who is the strongest in this world? Goten says that his father is not only the strongest in this world, but the strongest in the universe. All the heroes are shocked to know that one can be the strongest in the entire universe. And Izuku asks in a whispering tone to the group, will we be able to beat someone that strong? To which Shoto responds, it's the only way out. Although they tried to whisper, Trunks overhears their chatter and asks them what they are talking about and why they are planning on beating Goten's dad. But Endeavor, remembering the #1 rule of the games, tells Trunks that he must have misheard and that they are always striving to be the strongest and would love to meet the strongest to test their strength. Goten and Trunks looks confused, but understands them completely due to their Saiyan blood. Trunks tells them that if they want to be the strongest in the world, they would have to do more than just train. And Goten agrees while saying they have many of the strongest people in the entire multiverse right on Earth. Now this is discouraging for the heroes, knowing that it's virtually impossible to beat anyone in this universe. However, Bakugo came up with a great idea. He tells Shoto to give him the orb that he found, and while about to give it to the kids, he asks Trunks and Goten, what kind of wishes can these Dragon Balls grant? Trunks then looks up at Bakugo and says, any wish you want, so long as it's within the limits of the Dragon Balls. Bakugo gives him the Dragon Balls and apologizes for attacking the two boys. He just sensed strong power in the two and wanted to test his strength. He then asked them for a favor, to take the crew with them to meet Goten's father and the other strong people so they could maybe train and learn from them on how to get stronger. And Goten and Trunks agree, taking all the heroes with them to Capsule Corp.